What's up, everybody?
Hi.
And happy birthday.
Happy birthday, everyone.
Happy birthday
we did it.
To the Moral Combat Podcast. My name is Nathan.
And I am Zach.
And if this is your first time being here, then welcome to the 1 year.
Yeah, welcome to our 1 year celebration.
And so that's why we look like a bunch of successful goofballs.
Yeah. Wearing top hats and
celebrating all of our success.
All the success we've had here. So much success. I just am blown away. I'd like to thank the fan. Thank you for being here.
I am wearing a hat. I got my headphones and I got the hat for the birthday celebration.
Hey, you look good. You look like I like the red top hat.
Yeah, you're wearing blue.
I'm wearing a blue.
The reason why I'm red is because of
my devil.
My political stance.
Right.
And you're blue because of your political stance.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely.
No, that's not why.
Oh.
They're just colors.
I was almost for sure it was because of your political stance. I thought you were basically saying 2024 Trump.
Red is like a normal color.
Oh,
Don't ever say that again.
Right.
You put that on me, it pisses me off. We are celebrating our 1 year. This is the Moral Combat Podcast, where we are just hanging out on camera with mics and bright lights.
That's all that's what we do.
That's what we do now.
Yeah. If this is your first time to the podcast, we normally are talking about trauma and mainly religious trauma, but recently we just haven't been because we've talked enough about our trauma and we want the future of trauma to be about other people's trauma and inviting other people in. And so until we get there, you just get stuck with our sexy faces and our hilarious humor.
Yeah, our both of mine and my sibling over here, Zachary's partners, they both suggested separately from one another for us to start podcasting potentially, or they just suggested to maybe podcast every other week so that we would spend more time
developing the episodes.
Yeah, like for interviews or asking people to be on the podcast and all that.
Yeah.
And, but here we are. It has been every other week for the last month because we've been gone and then whatnot.
Had some vacations, had some situations.
But we're kind of in an interesting place with our podcast where me and Zach, we have two things going on. One, we're hanging out with each other on camera with lights and mics talking about our lives, whatever that looks like.
Yep.
And then the other part is building this business, as in like really building this product with interviews and expanding it more into religious trauma and other such things. And man, we just had a lot of stuff going on in our personal lives, haven't we, Zachary?
Oh boy, do we.
And so this idea of us going every other week is kind of hard because we've gotten, now that it's been 1 year, officially as of today.
Yeah. Well, as of this episode. I think the day was actually a week ago, but
the idea is, the episode.
Yeah.
We've kind of gotten into a routine.
I've actually been so surprised at how much of the routine it is not. When we miss a week, I feel like I've lost something.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
It's hard to not do it. It's kind of like, it's not really about the product for us. It's about us doing it.
We've fallen in love with it, guys and ladies and theys and them.
In life, it's about slowing down to maybe taking a step back and looking at like, what are we doing here? But we are doing that a lot right now with this podcast where we feel like we're slowing down by just like what we're bringing to the actual cast, right? It's like for like, I'd say 9 months, we'll say 10 months. Every week we were like, this is what we're talking about this week. Okay. Start thinking about it. And you'd be like thinking about your trauma all week. And then you'd be like, we'd do it.
Talk trauma.
And so,
I guarantee you when we do get more followers and the religious trauma thing starts to get a little more integrated into our fan base, the people who are responding to every time we would talk about it and stuff, I guarantee you we can kind of revisit some of those things if we wanted to. Because like we have talked about our trauma multiple times and it's like, oh, no one's seen that. That was 20, 30 episodes ago.
Right.
And so we talked about our trauma before. It's like, you had to go back pretty far.
Yeah.
So if it was necessary, we probably would do that. But now we're just trying to figure that out. And we don't want to miss the time together, honestly, I feel like.
Yeah, it's interesting times.
It is.
But here we are. We're doing it.
How's your acting classes going?
And we're 1 year in. And
we're 1 year
doing it.
We're 1 year.
And we're doing other things in life.
Yeah.
I remember when we first started this podcast, and it was so scary.
It was.
I was so nervous.
Yeah. We filmed it in your living room. And every time I see that thumbnail, I'm like, I was sitting so uncomfortable. I was in a chair like this.
But it was like everything was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Everything feels uncomfortable until you kind of you realize that it's you that's uncomfortable, not this. I don't know. Like it is what it is.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it was kind of uncomfortable the first 10 episodes. And then I started to be like, oh, this is a lifestyle. This is like, how do you do this every week? And you get used to the cameras and like talking on mic. And yeah, so it's like, this is episode 49. And so at this point, do I get really nervous or scared anymore? I mean, I feel like every week, I ask myself in my personal life as much as I'm doing on this podcast, I'm like, what are we actually doing here? And every week it's like, oh, that's right. We don't have to put too much pressure on it. This is our product.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're literally sitting in front. We've talked a lot about our trauma. Seems like a lot of people have responded well to it. But this idea of doing entertainment in the algorithm of this modern world, especially with YouTube, is psycho. It's so psycho.
It is.
It's so easy to get caught up into like the whys and the whats. And so now that we've had like a year product, which is our trauma, we'd be really vulnerable about it. It's like, well, there's the product.
Yeah.
Now what? And it's like, oh, that's right. We are doing this. We started this not as a trauma podcast, became that. We've gotten a lot closer. Now we know that we can it's up to us.
Totally. It's our show. It's our show, dude.
Before we even get into this episode where we're just hanging out, talking about shit, doing what we do best, we have to talk about the eclairs.
Oh, yeah. No. Let's get this out of the way.
Let's just get this out of the way.
I have my cool lighter. Let's use my cool lighter.
Oh, you want to use your cool lighter?
I have a pretty cool lighter. But I'm also kind of like promoting their company because everyone saw these lighters. They went viral and I happened to buy them. So I'm not promoting any company.
Make a short out of this.
I don't want to promote their company.
Oh, don't promote it. All right, you're going to use it though?
It took 6 weeks to get here.
Are you going to show it?
This is my cool new lighter.
Okay, show how it works. Wow.
Yeah, see, it's a dragon.
It's a dragon.
It's a dragon and it's got a flame.
It's the coolest lighter I've ever seen in my life. If you want to buy one, we're not sponsored. We're not selling them, so who cares? Great lighter, though.
Thanks.
Light the eclairs. Why we are celebrating with eclairs. Me and my fiancée and my son kind of went on a little bit of a eclair kick this weekend. And so I had a couple left over, and that's why we're celebrating with eclairs. Here's the funny thing is I haven't had sweets or anything in so long. And over the last few days...
You've had a lot.
I've had 2 eclairs.
Do they digest well?
And a couple otter pops. It's been fine.
Yeah.
That's the thing is it's like, it's not that big of a deal if you do them in doses. But if you're like going to town every day.
All right, dude. Let's eclairs cheer.
Cheers to you. Happy 1 year.
Happy 1 year.
Proud of you.
Proud of you.
You do a great job with the shorts.
Thank you.
And you do a great job with your hair every week.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Shorts and hair.
Thanks.
Hair and shorts.
When you finally started editing, you did a great job with them.
About episode 12, wasn't it? Episode 12 or something? 11. Huh. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday. Keep going. Dear Moral Combat. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
On channel 4. Oh, there's a piece of your dog here. Ooh, I got it.
I'm going to make a wish for the podcast, but I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't want to spoil it. Opa!
Upeo!
Here's the question, Zach. Are you going to actually eat yours?
Are you actually going to eat yours?
I feel like it'd be, I don't know. Should we?
I thought we were going to, and now it's like if we don't have to.
Here we go. Don't listen to me.
Oh. Is it good?
Just looking at me.
Is it good?
It's delicious.
All right, I guess I'll give it a go.
Give it a go. Happy celebrations. So far, this is a great episode. Episode 49 is a great episode. I'm just gonna finish this really quick.
I don't know why this is hard.
Together. Go, ah. Mm-mm. Still picking you up. It's gross. Mm-hmm.
No thanks. Oh man.
You don't like it? It's an eclair.
The texture of the donut is like stale.
Mm-mm.
I'm chilling, dude. But thank you for that. You want to finish mine, big boy?
No.
Okay.
I'm just trying to celebrate, but you're not trying to celebrate.
Okay.
All right. Can I take the hat off?
If that's what you must do.
If you were just listening, then you'll recognize right now that this is one of the greatest podcasts we've ever done so far.
This is definitely one of the best podcasts we've ever like top notch.
So happy celebrations, 1 year. But there is the greatest thing about our podcast is we get to have therapy together, record it and put it on YouTube and edit it and rewatch it. So Zach, you've had some updates in your life lately.
Yeah.
Let's just jump in. Big old updates. What are we talking about today? We're getting into it. I have a question for you. I have a big old question for you.
Dude, give me the big question.
How's work going?
The work is going so good.
What's going on with work? Give me the update on your work life.
If you have been a Mortal Kombat fan for even one episode, you would know one thing is my back hurts.
His back really hurts. We have a name for when Zach's back hurt.
He has a name.
Zach hurt his back about 3 months ago.
20 weeks ago.
4, 8, 12, 16. So that's what, 4 months?
Coming up on 4th.
I'm sorry. 20, 16, 20.
Almost 5 months.
I got you. Okay. Wow, it's a long time, right?
It's a long time, dude.
You hurt your back. You just turned 30 this year or last year.
I turned 30 this year. My back's been hurt for a long time.
You're turning 31 this year.
I'm turning 31 this year. I've been trying really hard to work through this back pain, and my job as a bartender, being on your feet for 10 hours, shaking drinks in a very busy restaurant, is not helping my back pain now that we're seeing coming up on week 20 and nothing has healed. And so I am going on disability.
Officially. So you had your last shift last night. How was your last bartending shift in a 5-star restaurant that you've been with through some of the worst ups and downs? People quit, mass exodus from workers.
Yeah.
You've been there. I remember when you started, you were like the low bartender, and within a matter of like 2 weeks, you were the head bartender because there was such a fast turnover.
Yeah.
And you've been there for how long now?
6 months.
And so you hurt your back pretty bad quickly after getting the job.
2 months after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're on disability now.
Well, I'm not official. I'm meeting with my doctor tomorrow. So hope is like you're on disability. If not, then I guess I'm just taking some time off.
Yeah. That's why this podcast is so crazy to me.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about the past, like our childhood trauma with religion. And then we're also all the time talking about our current trauma, like normal life, like current life stuff. Like it's just a funny picture over time of what it's like to be a
adult and then a human
in California.
A person. Yeah.
Who's like doing music on the side and, like going through the healthcare system.
Yeah, that's why it's so beautiful, man. We're documenting our lives.
And so you're meeting with your doctor, but it's basically official. You're at your work.
We're filling out the paperwork. It's going to happen.
Yeah, man, I'm really sorry. But how do you feel about this time then? What's going to happen?
I don't know, man. I started to get really good at bartending. And I started to kind of like give in to the idea of being a mixologist and bartending at these really high-end places. I started to get really good at my job. And especially at this place, like you said, I kind of became like their lead bartender very quick and started to have a team. that we like ran that bar, and we get through crazy Friday, Saturday shifts. And I feel like I was the one like leading them through it, and I got, all pride aside, I just got really good at my job, and it's really hard to watch go away, sadly. Of course, it's like, oh, I'm going to have weekends now for a little bit while I heal. And yeah, of course, it's kind of nice to have a break from working, but I like working and I like hard work, and I like being good at something, and I got very good at bartending.
What are you gonna do with this time? Do you have any like?
I mean, I didn't want to be a bartender. That's never been my dream, and so I want to use this time to figure out if I can get into any different line of work to at least make my bills, because having like gruesome, hard labor be the only way I can pay my bills, and then things like you hurt your back and you can't really make money anymore. It's like I'd rather maybe like get involved in something that didn't involve my body. And so I want to look into either like, well, I definitely want to look into going back to school, but then for the more short term, I want to look into a different way of making money.
Yeah, it's like super interesting that we've been on this podcast for months now, talking and going through your back pain, and you've finally gotten to the place where you've had MRIs, you've had steroid shots, and physical therapy,
multiple chiropractors.
And back pain just seems to be one of those things, right? That like also on this podcast, we've shared a lot vulnerably, like you've struggled with depression and anxiety a lot in your life, and you've grown a lot and healed a lot, and kind of, it's what feels to be like a never ending process of learning and trusting the process of life. Would you say that this back pain has become like a part of your, like how like anxiety and depression feels like its own thing, where it's like, oh, I'm anxious today or I'm depressed today. Yeah. It's like its own entity. And well, now that you had this back pain, and like, would you say that the back pain has become like the most heavy part of your life? Like everything that's hard in life is because of.
Yeah, it is 100%. So, I mean, that's why I'm going on disability. I'm not healing, and I'm incredibly depressed because of it.
Yeah. And that's the thing about something like back pain, right? Is that it's like there's this huge connection to like depression and the physical pain, to where it's like the physical pain causes depression because you're like, well, now I can't do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then you get depressed because you can't do it, which then causes more pain because of the depression causes things to be harder and hurt more. What have you been like? What is your coping, like now that you're on disability? It's like, so then, I mean, how do you really feel about this? You know what I mean? Like, are you excited about this time? Are you scared? Are you nervous? It's a crazy transition. It's like, feels like growth to be able to heal.
It feels just like the next thing. It's hard to say it's growth. It's hard to say it feels good. Nothing really feels good. It feels really bad to have to go on disability, especially when like I was working through all this pain, and leaving work yesterday, they announced it, and a lot of people were confused on why I was leaving, because it wasn't like no 2 weeks were put in. It was just all of a sudden Zach's not going to be here anymore, and that's really weird when I'm walking around and everyone thinks I've been okay this whole time,
right? And
they're like, "Why are you leaving?" It's like, I've been hurt this whole time, and I'm leaving now so I can heal, and it doesn't feel good because I'm not like it doesn't look like I'm hurt. I mean, if you really analyze me, you're walking weird and you're always touching your back. But other than that, like I'm getting through my shifts.
You're walking like a old man, and you're always complaining about your back. But besides that, you're a great person to work with.
But so it's just weird, man. And I'm young. I'm 30. And so to be dealing with such serious back pain is also another reason why I'm going on disability, because I shouldn't have this problem at 30. This is like a 50-year-old's problem, it feels like. I
guess that's why, like, I've always wondered that, like, that's the thing about back pain, right? Is it's like you have this real injury. We know it's there.
Yeah.
But we also know that you have this other, as you've expressed in this podcast, like you have this other injury.
You mean depression and anxiety?
Yeah, like childhood trauma, right? Like, so you like, I wonder if somebody and this is just because our podcast has been so much about religious trauma. If you were somebody that didn't suffer from such severe religious trauma, but had back pain, how would you deal with it? You know what I'm saying? Or how would it look?
almost like we can kind of formulate how the body heals. And
just
stuff
like I
that.
wonder if these sort of chronic physical pains that can happen in our lives because of being human, and like, does that chronic pain look different on somebody that has religious trauma versus somebody who doesn't have religious trauma? It's kind of a crazy question. It's just like, do you suffer from chronic physical pains worse or differently? How about that? Differently than somebody who doesn't have religious trauma? Because back pain is such a crazy weight. It's like everything becomes that becomes like a tunnel vision. It's a black hole.
It is.
I mean, there's a lot of things in life that are like back pain. I think that back pain is just something that as you get older, like elderly people tend to have back pain. It's like a thing that happens. And anybody that has really bad, severe, chronic physical pain of any type, knee pain, hip pain, but like anything that's like back pain, that anxiety and that depression and that fear that happens when you get that like pinch, where it's just like, and then everything has to wait.
It's true. It can take over your entire life. And it's taking over my entire life. My music has suffered from it. My, everything's harder, like you said. And my life is suffering from back pain. But that's why I'm trying to get better. And I think making the choice to go on disability and heal, I actually just force myself to heal. Because no doctor is going to tell me to go on disability. That's kind of what I've learned. Is I've met with so many doctors, and because I'm young with back pain, they don't think I should be on disability most of the time. Until now that it's 20 weeks in, and I'm like, what are we going to do? And now they're like, disability. But before it was, you're not going on disability. You need to work through this. And it's like, no, I need to go on disability. It's like making that choice is like taking control over the fact that I need to heal. It's not like I'm going to be bedridden so I can heal. That doesn't heal backs. Like, you're supposed to be active. You're just not supposed to be active for 10 hours on your feet. Doing one activity that hurts your back.
And the leaning over and the weird,
exactly,
holding your body at a distance. And
so that's really like the weirdest thing for me is my back is really hurt, but I could easily be doing like a desk job right now. Even though sitting hurts, I can at least get up, sit down, like get through a job. But like, because my line of work is so intensive and like you said, the awkward positions, that I have to go on disability when it's like, who's on disability? The most disabled. Like, not necessarily, I guess.
That's like, and I think that's like where I commend you. Anybody wants a good idea, if you on your back pain, could watch the last 5 months of this podcast and get an idea of how it's looked and how hard you've tried to like push through and joke about it and whatever. And I think you nailed it. It's not easy to like choose to go on disability. You've been like fighting against it for so long, and you're going to get over this. The reality is just that like you have to stop doing the work that's keeping you from healing. I see this happens to this is the sad thing, is that this happens to nurses all the time. A nurse, you just take a patient in a bed and move them up, and then it's just like, and then your feet are numb for 10 years. It's like, that's it.
It's true.
It's it. It happens to nurses all the time. And so that's why like body mechanics in the hospital, and you have to take all these classes online every 3 months that are like, there's always a new thing that's invented that you have to take a class on that's about blowing up a mattress and moving one patient laterally to another gurney.
Yeah. To save your back. And I've had some... I'll put this over there so it's not my shot anymore.
I've had some instances where it's like been really close, and but I feel like ever since I've been in my career, there's been a lot more insanely over-the-top nurses and education about body mechanics for this reason. And meeting so many older nurses, and like, 90% of nurses in their 50s or 60s have chronic back pain.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't move patients. Not since 1992. And I'm like, what happened? Oh, they were 485 pounds. I don't want to talk about it. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Can only imagine. My back didn't get hurt from doing one thing. It was just like months of doing one thing.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of like tore it apart, and then now it can't heal. But you hear these stories of people that you herniate your back by lifting something and you feel it herniate. It's like, that sucks. Yeah.
On the MRI, it's just all.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not right.
Yeah.
It's like all of them are perfect, and then this one's like out to here. It's like, that's pushing out.
That'd be a huge one.
Yeah, that's like, it's interesting. I'm really excited for you. And I'm also like, it's like weird timing that you're going through this, because I know that me and Megan are in my life going through a lot of personal shit that's not back pain. And I'm so happy to not have back pain. Like, because I'm, it's like, because that just makes everything so much harder.
Yeah.
Or like any sort of chronic pain, which I'm sure that you're in your life. Like, I'm really glad I don't have what Nathan's going through. It's like
totally
to each their own.
To each their own.
It's like, would I take your back pain for you to take my life? Yeah, probably. But then it's like when I really see you going through it, I'm like, no, I don't know. It's like, and so I'm really sorry, but at the same time, I'm like finally happy that like you've taken the leap into the next stage, which is a huge part of, I think, American life. A lot of Americans get hurt. And I know other people in the world too, but this is, we are American here on this podcast. Americans end up on disability all the time, and it's hard to get off of it. And there's stigmas, and there's like, people have their views, and nobody knows what anyone else is going through. One of the things you just said was, people at your work were confused that you were taking time off or going on disability. Like, wait, why? And it was like, because they had no idea and still don't know that you've been in pain the whole time. Mm-hmm. That's like everybody, right? Like, all of us are in pain, like emotionally, mentally. But back pain's one of those things where it's like everyone can hide a lot of things, but when that back pain hits, it's like you can't hide anything. Mm-mm. And so now it's like you can't really hide it. It's like, I got to take some time off, and people are like, yeah, if you hurt yourself in this job, you can't really work it.
Yeah.
And so I think you're a good example of what you're going through for a lot of people watching, if they cared. And I think that we've gone through the back pain, and you trying to be a bartender, and you've done it, and you can do it, but now it's time to heal, and you've gone through multiple doctors and MRIs and shots, and now we're on disability, and what are you going to do? This is like the story of Zorn.
That's the name he has for me when I talk about my back.
But I think I like it. The story of Zorn is like it's a real story, because you're about to make some crazy changes in your life. It's almost like the back pain is, who knows, folks? It's very possible this back pain is going to save Zorn.
Turn me back into Zach.
It's going to turn you right back into Zachary, and whatever you decide to do because of this back pain is going to be what you've been probably needing to do. And I wouldn't say needing, but like, it's the next stage. Season 3.
Yeah.
Of your life. And I think that like, that's how I feel always with stuff in my life. It's like, wow, this is really painful. This sucks. I have to stop and take a step back and be like, what am I doing? And that's normally where whether good or bad, the change happens. Evolution.
Yeah, my back hurts. Let's stop talking about me.
Let's move on to you again.
Okay.
The next stage of the asking Zachary questions for episode.
I didn't agree to any of this.
Episode 49, which is the 1-year anniversary of Mortal Kombat, which did start off as beep beep. Just kidding, those boys, but we know are now known as Mortal Kombat. You, with the back pain, with all the other things in your life, last week, you went camping with your fiancée.
We go camping all the time. This isn't that big of a deal.
And how was that?
Experience, dude. Experience. We went up to Bridgeport.
But I mean, like camping with back pain, right? The same thing. It's like...
So with this, I have been on a regimen where every morning I'm doing a good amount of stretches. Every other day I'm doing ab exercises. And it's like very consistent. And then when we went camping, I was like, I'm going to allow myself to do nothing. And I'm going to camp because I'm already going to be sleeping improperly. I'm already going to be just like doing the things that are going to hurt my back anyway. And during the trip, nothing really hurt my back. But the drive there, 6 hours away, and the drive back, 6 hours back, was very painful.
I'm just happy you still did it. Do you feel like you were able to disconnect from the stresses of your everyday life?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
I mean, I couldn't escape the back pain, but I could escape my stress with work, and I could escape my stress with this podcast, my stress with everything, because I wasn't doing it. I wasn't doing anything. Wasn't posting. Legit just saved the shorts for next week.
Yeah.
Just didn't post, let go of everything. And it was great. For me, the toughest thing, man, is when you do allow yourself to let go. I also have to accept that coming home is going to be that much harder then.
Right.
Because then you have to reabsorb it all back in, and it feels really good to when you actually let yourself let go. And then Thursday, Friday comes back around, you get back home, and it's like extra depressing, it feels like. But
Can be.
Especially
with since you've gotten back from that trip of letting go, you did come back and you've gone through a lot of change since then. So,
yep. But no, it was a very fun camping trip. We went to Bridgeport Reservoir, beautiful little tent cabin that we got, but it wasn't a cabin. It was just basically like a bed and a tent that they built. So you don't have to put up your tent. First time I ever did it, where you didn't have to put up your tent, and it's like, I think I'm gonna do that every time now. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy way to camp, and it's not necessarily glamping. Everything else about camping is the same in terms of like how you cook your food, how you do your stuff. You don't have any running water. Still very camping, but you just don't have to put up your tent.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's just cool.
Yeah. Similar to what we did.
Oh, did you guys do that? I mean, but you went with your girl to whitewater rafting.
Our little trip away was whitewater
right
rafting.
after my weekend.
Yeah.
Like the same week. We went away during the day, like Monday through Thursday, and then that Friday through Sunday, you guys went whitewater rafting.
Yeah, and it was like the craziest. It's just so hard to get away, and so I was up at like 4 or 5 a.m. every day for work, and then up at 4 to try to do whitewater rafting, which we're so lucky to be able to do anything. But
how about this? You're boring the fans.
Yeah.
Okay, you're really boring us. Let me just ask you a question.
Absolutely.
Because I don't even need to know. I just know you.
Sure.
And I know that you're like, you have to learn. What was it like falling out of the boat? Because you obviously did.
How do you know that?
I don't know. I just guessed.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about it.
I haven't talked about it.
Oh, you got it.
You definitely fell out of the boat.
Megan didn't even fall out.
You fell out.
In the first second.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you know that?
I just guessed.
So, yeah, so the type of rafts, we're on the American River, beautiful river. We're being told that they're class 1 rapids. The idea of this river float, it's not necessarily a whitewater rafting. It's supposed to be like a river rafting trip that's more like a float and a hangout. And at least that's what our friend of ours that invited us to go told us. And then
what river did you go? Where were you at?
American River.
Yeah.
Or it's like the Cache Creek River.
Casino.
Cache Creek Casino. But it's the Cache Creek River. It's like 100 degrees. It was absolutely beautiful. But we get there and the dude's doing this whole spiel. What you do is you show up, all of your crap, like a duffel bag, your tent, everything gets thrown into a pile in the middle of this parking lot out in the middle of nowhere, like wine country, whatever. And you have to have your stuff duct taped with like colorful duct tape so you can
find it.
They throw it all into a U-Haul. Then you get onto a bus with all these other people and you get shipped to the top of the river where there's like these people waiting for you with your rafts and your like packed lunch. They pack your lunch and everything. And so there's a handful of different types of rafts. There's like rafts for groups of 5, rafts for like groups of 4, 3, and then rafts for groups of 2 people. So me and Megan get a raft of our own, and you can get like the canoe or kayak looking ones, or you can get like a bigger type like boat ones. So we get the bigger ones, and Megan's super scared about being thrown out because the last time she'd gone whitewater rafting was like when she was in college, and she got thrown out. It was like her freshman year of college or something like that at University of Tennessee. And it was like one of those freshman trips. And she got thrown out and like almost died and like busted her lip and chipped her tooth. It's like her first like month in college at University of Tennessee was like, so like whitewater rafting for her is like super scary.
Yeah.
So we're all thinking she's going to get thrown out.
Yeah.
So I'm your typical, partner, fiance who's like, babe, you got to hold on tight, guys. Whenever we go. So while we're getting the spiel, the dude's like doing his crazy safety thing because you're all on your own. Normally in whitewater rafting, you're like in a group of 5 and maybe the guide's on there, right? And they're like left and then right.
Yeah.
That's the stuff we've done together. This is one where you're just you and your partner. You sign a waiver that's like if you break your neck, you can't sue. It's people get, it's like the whole time you're going down, you're just like, there's so many people that are also floating in little tiny rafts, and they're falling out, they're getting stuck. So it's pretty funny. And there's people that get fucked up too. They're drinking and partying. But anyways, the guy's explaining everything. And he's like, yeah, so the highest rapids you're going to be in today is a level 3. And Megan's like, what? Are you kidding me? And I'm like, damn, dude, level 3, like, because I don't know I think level 5 is maybe the highest. And I was like, damn, this is just level 3. That's like a big deal, right? Like, this isn't a level 1 float.
Is it the first one?
No, it's like the first one's like a level 1.5 or something. And it's like right when you get in, you don't know how to like use your paddle, right? Yeah. So you have to like learn, especially with like me and Megan. It's like the first time we've ever done anything that crazy, like paddling together. So it's a good test for our relationship. So we hit the first rapids. We're with 3 other couples. And so they're like in rafts around us and everyone's going down. And I'm in the back, Megan's in the front. We hit the first rapids and I don't know what happened, man. I was just like, everything was fine. And then it was just like first bump. It was just like, dum dum, like the very first one. I'm like, all right, babe, here we go. Dun, dun.
You're in? Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And it was one of those where like, I couldn't even, and like, it was like, I felt like an idiot. Like, it was just like,
just like,
no balance.
Just like a block man.
Yeah. Ooh, exactly. Megan's all like hunkered down and I'm just like, dun dun, fall right out. Just boom, into the water. Before we even got in the boat, the guy's like telling us with our life jackets to make sure they're super tight. And Megan's like trying to tighten mine. I'm like, stop, don't tighten mine. I get claustrophobic. She's like, well, if you get thrown in, it's going to choke you. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm not going to get thrown in. So I get thrown in immediately.
It's
I'm
choking you
under the water. Like, ah. So I come out of the water. My thoughts are just like, Nathan's learning his lesson so fast. I'm just like, I can't breathe. And I'm just like, it's pretty bad. I'm just like up and out of the water. Like, like thinking like, kind of see Megan and she's freaking out and the boat's just spinning. And she's just like, and I'm just like thinking like, wow, I'm pretty sure this is like a 4-hour float. This sucks. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, actually, this is exactly what I want. I want something in life that's going to distract me so bad that like I can't think about anything else.
Yeah, it's like the fear of drowning.
So in that moment, I thought about that. I was like, man, I'm really distracted right now.
Yeah.
I'm being choked. Like all this sucks. Megan's gone. Like I have to just wait. I can't get to her. I have to surrender to the river. It's like from the moment we started, it was just like the lesson of surrender.
Yeah.
And I just like, did what they say where you put your feet first and you're just like going through the rock and like going up and down these rocks. And I'm like, okay, I got to get over to Megan because it's like pretty bad rapids and she's like way over here. So I'm like, okay, they say like if you have to swim out of somewhere, you swim to the side. So like there's all these rocks and I like turn my body and right when I do, it's just like this big boulder hits my right hip. And it was literally just like, it was so bad. I was just like, no! Like full on knocked the wind out. And like, it was just this feeling of like, tomorrow I'm going to be in so much pain. That's all I thought was like, we're here to have a good time. This is about us for our relationship and distractions. And I'm going to be in so much pain. So I just like bounced off of a rock. And I finally get over to the boat. I get in the boat. And Megan's just like looking at me and I'm just like looking at her and I'm like, okay. And like in that moment, I'm like, this is fun. This is crazy. That was it. That's all I needed. I learned everything about balance and what I needed to do. And it took us about 30 minutes to learn each other's rhythm on the boat. We got really good. And I started doing like 360, like being able to use the paddle to go around the rapids and rocks and like some crazy huge rapids. And like one of our couple friends or whatever, they like flipped their boat and got stuck underneath and she came out like crying. It was like awesome. It was like an intense rapid. It was like, no, by the end of it, you're like, this worked. This was, and then like you float, you do like 3 hours, you stop multiple times, you get out, you eat your packed lunch in the sun, you tan, you take a nap, you get back in your boats. Everything's on your pace. And then you float right into this beach on the side of the river. And they have all of your stuff laying out right there where you get out. Then you get out at like, you've been up since 4 a.m. and you've been floating for 5 hours or whatever. And you they take your boat and everything, and then you just walk like into this grassy field and find all your shit that's just been sitting in the sun, and you set up your tent right there, and it's like 100 degrees, and there's just like people everywhere. It's like a music festival, and they just all set up their stuff, and then you camp under the stars, and they serve you tons of food and dinner, and there's like a little dance party at the night. Like, it was nuts. And then you wake up the next morning, pack all your shit up, do it again.
Yeah. There you go.
It was fun.
It does sound fun. The whole, like, them taking your stuff, putting it at one part of the river, and then it's kind of like away from your car camping. Almost like in the forest. It's really fun.
Yeah, that kind of creates a separation where at night you're like, well, there's nothing I can do now.
Yeah.
And it's so hot that like people are swimming at night. You know, it's so nice. And so, but yeah, I got tons of bug bites, broke out in a skin rash, broke my hip.
Yeah, I still have bug bites that are healing.
What is that about our blood?
Sweet.
It's sweet blood, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet blood.
It's funny, where we went camping, they were like, it's right by the lake. And so there's a certain type of bug that's very prevalent. And they're not mosquitoes. So there's few mosquitoes. So you can still get mosquito bites, but the ones that look like big mosquitoes aren't. And so there's all these bugs flying around. And I wake up the next day covered in mosquito bites.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not mosquitoes.
They're not mosquitoes. And I'm just like,
well, when we were out on our trip, there was like the people we're standing with, like anytime anybody, especially a white male, not one of those, I know what I'm saying. But like if a dude, a white dude's like, or any dude, let's just say that, just a dude, or even a girl, you know what? Let's just say a person. Yeah,
just keep going.
Any person, if they're like, no, those aren't mosquitoes. Those are like little bugs. Those aren't. It's like, they're probably mosquitoes.
Yeah, probably mosquitoes.
So if they're like, there are some mosquitoes out there, but those aren't mosquitoes. They're probably mosquitoes.
They said you'd still get mosquito bites, some of them, but they said what you're seeing most of is not mosquitoes.
Yeah, and I fell for that trap too, man. Somebody telling me what is and isn't mosquitoes, and then you get home and it's like 75.
Yeah.
Nope, 76. 76 mosquito. I have 76
You counted
mosquitoes.
76?
Sure.
That takes a lot of effort to count. You must be very motivated.
Yeah, I have E. coli too.
E. coli?
Yeah, E. coli.
We all have E. coli. It's in our mouths.
No, not. I was making it like, but literally like enough bug bites when you get home to be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That was like so many mosquitoes. Why did I actually think that?
But there's a lot of mosquitoes at the American River like you went to.
What else do we got, Zach? We have like a few more minutes.
I stopped taking my allergy medication.
I literally have a few more minutes of this podcast.
And so I'm starting to get a little bit of allergies here.
Are you really? Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I've been having a really bad allergy day.
It's because, Zach's doing what I did, where you get to a point in your life where you go, I'm done with the fucking pills. I'm done with the supplements.
That's not true. I'm not done with supplements. I take a lot of supplements.
He still takes a lot of supplements.
I'm done with like the random, I take an allergy pill yearly round. Why? It's like, we're blowstones. Yeah, I'm done with that.
Yeah, well, because they work. And we live in Sonoma County.
Yeah.
This is the worst allergies on the planet.
I stopped doing a bunch of Flonase too.
Any other like updates? I mean, things you want to talk about? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm not going to be releasing a song this month. I have decided to just let myself release a song in September. But then I also read something the other day that September is the worst time of the year to release new music. And so I actually might just wait through September too. And if anyone out there thinks that I'm doing the wrong thing,
tell me. Yeah, tell them. We'll listen.
Yeah. If you tell just one person, come tell me, I'll release 2 songs this week.
Cool. All right. I'm going to call it.
Well, we have to play a game.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to call it.
Well, you can't call it until we play the game.
That's what I'm going to call it with the smack.
But don't smack your hand down.
Why?
Don't do it.
Why? We're back.
We're back.
God, I can't get headphones. We're good.
You're fine.
We got to hurry up though, because we just got the game cam set up. Everything's recording. We're back. So let's go, Zach. Come on. Here we go.
Batteries are dying, so we have to try to get this as quickly as possible.
Yeah, because I didn't charge anything. Okay, so it happened again. So go ahead, Zach. We are going to the
game cam.
Game cam.
Game cam.
You have to select it because you're in first.
Oh, where am I going? Want to do Mario Kart? Want to do Mario Golf?
Mario Kart 64, do it.
Where is it?
Right there.
Where? Oh, there it is. Got it. I did it, Nate. You proud of me? Are you proud of me?
So the controller these might die. And if they do, not much we can do about it. So we're playing Mario Kart 64 as we always do. Battle.
What did we play last week?
I honestly don't know.
I am going to be Warrior this time. You're going to be Mario.
I think we did... Why?
Those are buttons. Right. Let me just double check.
Big Donut. We did Block Fort, Double Deck. We might be on Double Deck 3.0. That music in the background is music from yours truly, Nene, here from the Bay. But I'm also been for
Skyscraper we did last week.
Oh, 3.0?
Yeah.
So we're back to Big Donut 4.0.
Big Donut 4.0.
Here we go. Big Donut 4.0. We're jumping right in. We're just going to keep doing Mario Kart.
I'm top, you're bottom. This is new.
You wanted the controller. Once again, the reason why we're kind of going through this nice and fast is because we're going to run out of battery because, that's how good we are with our studio here. Okay, Zachary. Why are you turning around? Why are you running from me? Oh, good move. We've just been right through each other.
Oh, you lucky little.
Yes.
Oh, and you have a ghost, huh?
Yes.
You're such a slut sometimes, dude.
Oh, wow, those are horrible throws. Whoa, that was crazy. Oh, that was following you. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
This is good. This is good because we don't have much battery, so.
No.
Here we go.
No. I've won the last
Best out of
50.
three.
I'm going to keep winning the last
Here we go.
100.
Zach has won a lot. And so this is my chance to bring it back. The stress of the batteries. Let's do it. Yes. What? That didn't even go to you.
You gotta be better than that, dude.
Come to me.
Oh, goodness.
Yes! Yes! You just wasted all those. Bye-bye. Oh, shoot. Ew. Snap.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, I gotta get out of here. Oh. No. Oh.
Nate fell off.
Slid right in there.
That's what she said.
Oh, wow. Really, Zach? Kind of rude. Oh, snap.
I support all genders and presences. Goodness, 2 stars, dude?
Come on, baby.
Don't fall in. Don't fall in.
Yes. That worked beautifully. Where are you going? Come on.
Where are you?
I was gonna keep going around, baby. Come on, baby.
Where are you?
Yes. Oh, you son.
Oh, no.
Yes,
this is way
this is
too
it.
close.
This is it.
Oh, you got so lucky, dude.
Oh.
Yes!
No! You know what? For the hard times in life that we're going through, that was some fun. That was fun.
I did not enjoy any little bit.
And I still have batteries, so we got through that. That was good.
Let's charge him this time. All right, congratulations, dude. You finally won again. Starting off the 4.0 strong.
That was good.
Thanks for being here, episode
Echo
49 of
Garage On.
the Mortal Kombat podcast, where we celebrated our 1-year anniversary, and then Nate decided to
Echo.
interview me for
Thank you.
who knows what reason. All right.
Yes, thank you for joining us for the 1-year anniversary of the Mortal Kombat podcast.
Yes.
We are so happy to have you. My name is Nathan. This is Zachary. We are siblings. Sometimes we call ourselves brothers. We are binary stars. Love you, Zach.
Love you, Nate.
It's going to be a really crazy week. It doesn't seem like anything's getting any easier either. Right?
No.
Good luck out there, everybody.
Good luck, everyone. Life's dangerous.
We know that our podcast is going through some changes.
I'm going through changes, and you don't know what those changes are.
Okay, I'm done.
If you dive deep
Bye.
into your core, those changes aren't so far